Hey guys, Sean here. Today I've got an exciting top 10 list for you all. I was thinking about my favorite movies, and as I remembered them all, I realized they all have one unifying factor. It's when a character does this. Usually a character will strike this pose, some sort of magic energy will fly out of their hand. There's something really powerful and bad about this pose. So I wanted to count down the top 10 characters who can do this, and something cool happens. I'll be judging on overall power that this hand movement has, form, stance, and how well they curl their fingers. And just remember guys, this is my list. I'm sure you all have your favorite characters who can do this, and something cool happens. So feel free to tell me in the comments down below. So with all that out of the way, here is the top 10 characters who can strike their hand out in front of them with great force and something powerful will happen. Number 10. Thor, from Thor Ragnarok. The first two Thor movies were pretty bad in my opinion. Pretty much everyone has these super cool powers, and instead of using them naturally, they use tools to use them. I believe that to be lame as heck. But Taika Waititi, he took it to a whole new level. In the final scene of the movie, spoilers for Thor Ragnarok, Thor is on the giant bridge. Finally, for 2 seconds, we see Thor strike his hand out of his body and throw a skeleton off of the cliff, and it is awesome. Number 8. Scarlet Witch from the Marvel's Civil War, and Violet from The Incredibles. This spot is split between two characters because their powers and motions are almost exactly the same. Looking at these two clips, the first thing you'll probably notice is that they are both women, which seems to be a metaphor that our society is always making women fall into the same role, which is a topic for my next list. Top 10 women who Hollywood has tricked you into thinking they are the same person. But back to this list. Both of these characters throw their hand out and some sort of bubble or telekinetic energy will appear. Sometimes they use this for protection, sometimes they use it for offensive purposes. Scarlet Witch gets points for being one of the strongest characters in the Marvel Universe, and Violet gets points for doing it all and getting the boy too. Number 6. Elsa from Frozen. Queen Elsa of Ardennes is arguably the strongest character on this entire list. She can construct entire palaces out of ice, shoot snow, summon servants out of the ground. She's even mastered the power of the tailor. Elsa is strong. That makes me happy. What disappoints me about Elsa is what she actually shoots out of her hand. While she claims to be the queen of snow and ice, I would categorize her closer to the queen of flurries. That's what Elsa should be the queen of. Flurries are not powerful. When Elsa shoots out of power, it feels weak and limp. They also missed a big opportunity to have her shoot ice under her with both hands and float around. Number 5. Static Shock from Static Shock, the cartoon. Static Shock is a teenage superhero who, after being exposed to an experimental mutagen, gains the ability to harness electricity. He thrusts his hand forward, and just like that, he can shoot lightning and attract metal to him. The animation style makes his power seem like zoom, zap. It's so quick. It looks like real electricity flowing through the air. And when Static Shock uses the magnetic field to bring his signature disc to him, followed by jumping on it, that's exactly the kind of intense action we need to see from a hand strike. However, he loses a couple of points for the lack of stance. I want to feel the power as he puts his whole body into it. If Static Shock stood his ground, he would look cooler and definitely blast more baddies. Number 4. Iron Man. Number 3. That Woman from Telekinetic Coffee Shop Surprise. 5 years ago, a video went trending on YouTube called Telekinetic Coffee Shop Surprise. It's a stage prank where someone pretends to freak out in a coffee shop and telekinesises her foe up the wall. This video was actually a promotion for the Carrie movie remake. Regardless, it's super awesome. She just like bam, and they're gone. I want more of this. I've never seen the movie Carrie because it is scary, and I don't like to be scared. But if this happens in the movie at all, I will recognize its coolness. Number 2. Anakin Skywalker. Specifically the scene where he force chokes Padme in Revenge of the Sith. When I talk about this, the Force is the first thing that usually comes to most people's minds. And I don't blame them. It's exactly what I'm talking about. Many of the characters in the Star Wars universe just go like BAM! And then they push stuff around or shoot lightning or something. With so many Force users in the Star Wars, it was hard to narrow it down to just one. so I went with the most iconic of all time, Anakin Skywalker. It's hard to not think of that time when thinking of Anakin using the Force. That time in Revenge of the Sith where he's talking to Padme and he gets cross with her and he goes, "Tell me the truth," and he chokes her princess neck. Anakin has so much Force in his Force. Ha 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 ha. Now I know you're all excited for the conclusion of this list, but before we get to number 1, I want to do some honorable mentions. Firstly, we have Moses from the Bible when he splits the Red Sea. And all the drawings I've seen, he goes like this instead of like this. If we could have that, he might be number 4 on this list. Matilda from Matilda the movie. Never in this movie does Matilda strike the iconic pose, but I can tell through her intense facial expressions that she really wants to. Goku from Dragon Ball Z. Goku would have made the list, but anime is for little baby boys, so sorry weeaboos, Goku is not here. And finally, number 1, Mewtwo from Pokemon the first movie. Mewtwo. If you don't know anything about Mewtwo, well gosh, are you missing out? Formed from the DNA of Mew, Giovanni created a powerful psychic Pokemon that uses telekinesis to attack its foes, and it looks like it was perfectly built to strike the hand-palm force thing. Firstly, since he has long, powerful legs, when he steps forward to use this power, the ground shakes in fear. Power is shown even before Mewtwo has attacked his foe. Then, his hands. 3-pronged ball fingers arched in front of his palms, form perfectly and constantly into the hand shape I've been looking for. And finally, his actual power. He can throw his opponents, levitate them, throw things at them, control minds. Mewtwo's power is unbalanced. The only thing that can defeat him is friendship or something like that. I forget the end. So, he can't be beat unless he chooses to have friends, which is a power I wish I had myself. Mewtwo is the perfect embodiment of everything I look for in this stance, and I don't see him being beat anytime soon. Thank you guys all for watching. If you also enjoy media where characters go like this, please leave them down below so we can have very polite discourse about it. Thank you.